Okay, so I just got back from my ride, and I'll show you my gauge here. This is my air-fuel ratio gauge. It's connected to my Dobeck Performance AFR EFI controller. And what I did to test this was I set that so that it was not adding or subtracting any fuel. And I tried it at idle with the factory airbox and with the vented airbox, and there was no difference in air-fuel ratio. I went out and got the bike warm and up to operating temperature, and I tried it with the factory airbox and the vented airbox lid, and there was no difference in air-fuel ratio. I put in my numbers for adding fuel at light load, cruising, and heavy load to make my big bore kit run correctly, and use the factory airbox lid and the vented lid, and there was zero difference in air-fuel ratio. So to me, what that says is these airbox vents are not letting in any more air, because if they did, it would lean out my air-fuel ratio. I did not notice any difference in acceleration or top end power, bottom end power. There's no increase I can feel, which I didn't expect there would be with something that small of a modification, and I didn't notice any better throttle response. So, to me, what these vents are a waste of time, effort, and money. For 30 bucks, I'd rather have 15 gallons of gas. The reason I think these vents are not effective is because the factory snorkel is supplying all the air this engine can take through the factory throttle body. I don't think anything with the airbox is the reason why there's not enough air going in. There's plenty of air going in, even for a 305cc big block, through that factory airbox. If you want to increase your performance on the air intake side of things, you need a bigger throttle body. It's the 2017 and 18 and 19 all have a bigger throttle body on them. You can get bigger throttle bodies for these, but for the money, you're not really going to see much of a performance gain. But that's the restriction in the intake side of this engine, is the throttle body. It is not the airbox. So I would not suggest doing these airbox vents. I did because I make YouTube videos, so people want to see how it's done. I showed you how to do it. If you want to do it and you think it's going to work, it's called the placebo effect, but go right ahead. I made a video on showing you how if you want to. But you can also buy the lid that I built, because it will be on eBay, because I'm going back to the factory one because I don't want to have more places for dirt and water to get into my airbox. Those are my opinions. I'm sure plenty of people will argue against it or for it. I don't care. That's what I think. So you can do with that information what you will. Thanks for watching.